Welcome to the world-renowned Invest in Her podcast with your host, Catherine Gray. Catherine is a keynote and TEDx speaker, author, executive producer of the movie Show Her the Money, also CEO and founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. Our weekly show of powerhouse women, founders, funders, and changemakers is sure to inspire you. Let's go.
Welcome to this week's edition of Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation, as well as executive producer, of course, of the new movie, Show Her the Money. Hope you've seen it. If not, be sure to check out our website to see where we're going to be and what next city. We've been in over 200 cities, and maybe we're coming to yours. It's showherthemoneymovie.com. So let's get started. We have an incredible guest. She is into global investing, which is what we're going to be talking about today. She's also producing a new TV show in this entrepreneurial arena. Very exciting stuff. Let's welcome to the show, Erika Aquino. Hi, Erika. How are you?
Hi, Catherine. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Let's talk about how you got into global investing. And, I love sharing stories like yours because it motivates other people to do the same.
Absolutely.
So I know you're coming to us today from Manila. You
Yes.
are Filipino, and you
Yes.
travel back and forth from here to the United States and
Yeah.
have invested really all over the world. I made a note of some of the places, Manila, Miami, Singapore, Sydney, Berlin, even Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Talk about your background and how you got into investing. So many women want to do that trajectory.
Right. So I've been fairly lucky in terms of my career. I started out with corporate jobs. I was in public relations, in marketing, in business development for hospitality, in fintech, and education. Now, the thing is, my father, as the same with a lot of people, right? You start out with the things that are closest to you. And my father is an entrepreneur. He was in corporate, he went into entrepreneurship. He co founded a tech company here in the Philippines that did very well for itself. Now, he during that time, he actively started angel investing into different companies here in the Philippines, abroad, etc. Now he would ask me for advice, for feelers, for my own analysis or my own take on this, and he also
Let me just say, I love him already.
Yes, he is an amazing person.
That's what we call a girl dad.
Absolutely. He's a total girl dad, I would say. Even his granddaughter is his favorite. So anyway, I digress. But he would ask me for my opinions. And, a few years ago, he did get sick. He had a stroke. And I've taken over his seat at the board. And I've decided, my brother and I decided together that to continue what he started in terms of angel investing. He has this prayer that he says at meals. One line of which goes, dear God, grant us more blessings so that we may be able to give opportunities to others. It's not about giving to others, but providing opportunities for others. And that really struck me. Whatever religion or you believe or not believe in, I think that call for, oh, okay, what we have, let's share with others so that they may plant the seeds for others as well, right? And that for me was totally impactful. And
I think of it as that saying where they say, don't give a person a fish, teach them
yeah, exactly.
right? Meaning
Yes.
don't just give it to them, but teach them how to get their own fish, right?
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
another analogy. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And now given that, I started, yeah, and personally I love traveling. I've been traveling since I was 4, I think, and exposure to the cultures of the world. Even here, I see the disparity in problems that people face. We are the most disaster-ridden country in the world. The Philippines is,
Oh,
and we've faced in my lifetime. I've faced floods, countless numbers of floods, two major volcanic eruptions,
oh.
yeah, earthquakes, lots and lots of earthquakes. So, and there is something to be said about observing these things and realizing that I am at a good place to help. Not maybe not directly, but at the very least, try and contribute to solutions for the world's problems, no matter how big, no matter how small.
And I'm so
And
glad you're saying this because this is what entrepreneurs do, right?
exactly,
That's why we want to invest in them. They create
exactly,
solutions that help make the world a better place and solve problems. And
absolutely.
I think it's why this space is so exciting, don't you?
Hmm.
Like
Of
I know
course.
every day you're approached by entrepreneurs that have
Hmm.
great innovations. How
Hmm.
do you pick who you invest in? Like, what is your focus?
So, okay, I look at 4 pillars, 4 industries, so to speak: sustainability, wellness, future of work, and education. Now, I tend to go towards underserved founders, whether if they are women or minorities. That's where I tend to go to. I also look for founders who are living the problem that they are trying to solve. The closer that they are to the problem that they're trying to solve, one, they're more passionate about it. Sometimes the scrappier they are, the more they understand what kind of solutions should be in place for this. Whether it's, let's say, okay, I am diabetic and I need a better for you snack that's also sweet because I have a sweet tooth. That's a problem in itself.
Yeah.
Or whether it's, let's say, I am a dad whose son has lives with autism and is nonverbal. I just want to hear him tell me that he loves me. And I have those are 2 founders that I've mentioned, by the way. And um and and for them to find the solution to that problem, for them
Wait
to
a
be
minute.
so
What was the solution to that autism problem? That's it.
So this founder built an app that sort of acts as a bridge between speech therapy sessions for a nonverbal child living with autism. It also provides access to people who may not afford a consistent speech therapy. It also provides a connection with speech therapists as well around the world, locally around the world, etc. This one's based out of the Philippines, so I could tell you offline about it. But yeah, it's a pretty. He's such a dad, like he ended his speech with, "At the end of the day, I just want to hear my son tell me that he loves me," and
How cute.
exactly.
You
I
know,
know,
it's
I
funny
know.
that you bring up autism because the director of our film, Show Her the Money,
Uh-huh.
project is about kids with autism, and it's
Oh,
called
wow.
telepathy tapes. And
Mm-hmm,
everyone
mm-hmm.
is talking about it. In fact, she was on Joe Rogan. Her
Oh, wow.
actually came above Joe Rogan, number one, because this topic is so prolific and so many people are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about how children with autism have a tremendous amount of telepathy. Did you know that?
That I didn't know.
Yeah, so
Telepathy,
it's
that's
kind of a
interesting.
fascinating finding that
Mm-hmm.
people are having a big epiphany about that these children have this special gift. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you brought that up.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, well, I will definitely look that up. So thank you for that. And I will mention this to him. But yeah, I mean, I really look for founders who are living really close to their problem, right? And trying to find the solutions for it. Of course, there's the issue of there's the standard, the data room, the economics make sense. Is it the problem that they're trying to solve real? Is it, or is it a made up problem? Um,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you
I
think,
look for things like that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sometimes you have like somebody approach you with a solution to something that you think this isn't really a problem. That's
Exactly.
fascinating. Yeah.
Exactly. But however, I also have to give credit that I don't know everything. So if a founder, let's say, comes to me with this problem that they're trying to solve, I'll think, is it really a problem? And then I ask around, who might your users be? Are you, and I want to get it. I
You're right,
think
because unless you have the problem yourself,
exactly.
might not get it. And that's why I say, for entrepreneurs that are listening, you have to find people that identify with you and the
Mm-hmm.
product or solution that you are talking about, right? And
Right.
they think every investor should be their investor. But the
No, no.
process is going out and meeting as many investors as you can so that you find your people that identify with you personally and
Mm-hmm.
also with the product or solution that you've created. Because people that, like, for instance, your issue with the autism, the
Mm-hmm.
product for the autism. How many
Mm-hmm.
parents are out there with kids with autism that would love to have that app, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
identify with it. If they didn't have kids with autism, they might not understand the product at all. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think, don't you think it's always about going out there and finding your people, that identify
Yeah,
with you and the product?
absolutely. I always say this to friends, to people I advise. It's finding your tribe, and that investor in the funder conversation. It's always a vibe check, and it's a two-way street. You have to feel just as I try to get a vibe from the founder, I always try to encourage the founder to feel my vibe as well.
Yeah.
Um, whether it's an alignment in morals, in a vision for the whatever problem it is you're trying to solve, there really should be some commonalities. And I also prefer founders who like active investors, meaning, yeah, active investment. Yeah, whether it's through advising, through introductions to your network. While I don't like micromanaging, I do like kind of being involved in helping the founder shape his or her vision
And
or their vision. Yeah.
I think that founders should look at investors that way. It's not just money, it's introductions,
Mm-hmm.
connections,
Mm-hmm.
advice,
Mm-hmm.
that they have in their areas of expertise that could be
Mm-hmm.
helpful to them. In your case, your background's marketing. Yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
think you would bring a lot to the table for those you're investing in. Um,
Yep.
so for those that want to do global investing, do
Mm-hmm.
you think they need to be able to travel the world like you're doing, or just find a global fund? I noticed you have invested in all these different places from Sydney to Austin. I
Yeah.
think you probably were visiting those places when you met these entrepreneurs.
Well, yes. No, well, not really. Okay. So sometimes I stumble upon these investments through my travels. However, there are syndicates around the world that you can join as a starting angel investor. There's one particular syndicate that I'm a part of that caters to female founded or as long as there's a woman in the C-suite, they are looking at they're looking at countries around the Asia Pacific region, and
And
they're open to
I know
investors.
everybody's going to want to know what that angel syndicate is.
Yeah, so it's called Epic Angels.
Epic.
Um, Epic Angels. They're the largest group of female investors in the world, actually. And they look at startups in healthcare, in wellness, in tech, in e-commerce, all these things. And they have great deal flow, and you can invest sometimes for as low $1,000.
This is
Angel,
great information for our
mhm,
listeners. And
yeah.
Epic Angels,
Mhm.
do they have, is this all online? Is it there, are there
It's
meet?
all online. It's all online, and there's a big WhatsApp group, and they schedule Zoom calls with founders who there. I think there's a monthly pitch. So there's a monthly pitch of 3 or 4 startups. You look at their deal flow. You say, okay, I like this person. I like this company. Let's invest. And you can put in you and the Epic Angels invests in an SPV, and you can join in for sometimes as low as 1,000 US.
So our listeners should probably learn, what is an SPV?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a vehicle that
Yes.
allows many people to invest, which is why I gather that the minimum is 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a great way to get started. Some people like investing in SPVs, some don't. I think everybody should read up on that. Um,
Yeah.
so there's venture funds, there's
Mm-hmm.
SPVs, and then there's direct investments through angel
Yes.
investing. I always like to educate our listener on their different options, but it does sound like something that people should check out both as a founder and as a funder. Um,
Yes.
yeah, Epic Angels. Thanks for sharing.
So I can't. Yeah, I'll send you the website. It'll most likely be in your show notes, right? But
Great.
yeah,
Roxanne
it
will put that in our notes so everybody can get that when we
yeah,
post. Let's
yeah.
also talk about, so this would be a great way if people want to do global investing because
Yes.
they
Yes.
offer up things from around the world. So if you
Literally around the world. Yeah.
in an SPV and it's investing, say, in a company in Berlin or Sydney or Singapore, like you've done, are there any logistics about investing in something in another country?
Yes, so you are going to want to, if you're going to do direct investments, honestly, it's a little more complicated. You want to set up a holding company somewhere. You want to check out the legalities of investing in another country through an entity or through yourself. Or, are you going to put up a holding company that will invest globally? And if so, what country will that holding company reside in? That there's so many complications of that, and thankfully I had a great network to kind of coach me on this. But there are resources. You can I've done Singapore. You can do what do you call this? You can invest in different you can put up holding companies in different countries. So
But what
it's really
about
up
if
to you.
you invest in Epic Angels in an SPV, special purpose vehicle? Then do you have to set up?
No, no,
No. So that's a
no,
way
you
to
don't.
invest
It
globally.
Absolutely. It's global. Sorry, it mostly invests in the Asia Pacific region. So
Okay.
this is the US, Australia, Latin America, Asia. So we have people have pitched from Bangladesh to Latin America, and it's really quite an interesting mix and fascinating actually to see what kind of problems people are trying to solve.
I bet. And
Yeah.
so you can invest in that SPV from the
Mhm.
US without setting up an entity in another country.
No, 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 no. You just wire the money to Epic Angels. They'll send out whatever documentation is
Right.
needed, and yeah, they'll take care of everything essentially.
Oh, that's really a cool piece of information. Thanks
Mm,
for sharing that.
absolutely. Anything to help. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how people could get involved in global
Mm,
investing. I love it.
mm, mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you also are producing a TV show, which we talked about at the
Yes.
top of the show. And
Yes.
so that TV show, um, it's currently called Fempire, but you're saying,
Working title.
I,
Working title. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that. And, what would you like the audience to know? I know it's forthcoming.
Yeah, so it's a reality competition, unscripted TV. Basically, it's female founders learning and pitching their business to female investors. It's such an interesting world that we're building of female funders and female founders, and it's it's quite fascinating to see the growth and the sophistication at so many levels. And yeah, this is sort of my love letter as well to my dad, who, well, of course, obviously he is a man, but he has advocated for this, for fighting for the underdog and for kind of uplifting what needs to be uplifted. But yeah, this is really quite exciting. It's 10 episodes. It's we're starting production soon, and I'm really quite excited. I've seen so many contestants and they're very interesting ideas. So I really want to I just want to get things started.
Yes. And this brings me back to the TED Talk I did a few years ago. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Fund Women Save the World. And it
Mm-hmm.
is about this very issue, Erica,
Mm-hmm.
that you're talking about, which is more women need to be sitting at the decision-making table of who gets
Mm-hmm.
invested in when women are pitching, because they tend to
Mm-hmm.
be pitching all male panels. And so
Mm-hmm.
we have to change that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're going to get more funding, because research shows, and I said this in the TED Talk, people tend to invest in people they identify with. And if there's
Mm-hmm.
no one at the table that they identify with, they're probably not going to get funding. It's the reason that women are only getting 2%. So we have to change that scenario and
Absolutely.
get more women, sorry, at the decision-making table. And that's what you're doing with your show.
And you know what else? So I was at Gloria Steinem's house during her birthday, and I got invited to an event there, and I felt like, oh my God, this is Gloria Steinem.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. But she was asked, what does female leadership look like? And her reply was, women leadership looks like collaboration. So what does it mean? We take into consideration the needs of the community. We take into consideration the opinions of those around us, and we arrive at our decision as leaders. It's about harnessing the strengths of others, of the community, so that we all work together. And she said, and this might be a little controversial, but the most comfortable table shape that women are that where women belong is a circle. So it's not a boardroom where there are two heads at the end of the table. It's rather a circle where everyone's voices are heard, are acknowledged, and we consider the needs of the community at large whenever we make a decision. So I think this is quite important when we as funders invest as well. I really look for, not just community centric um, founders, but problems, solutions to problems that can really help change the world. And I know I'm not alone with my fellow female funders, right? We're really looking at things that are revolutionary, that aren't just
I know what
sexy.
you're saying. Women have different sensitivities of what they're going to invest
Yes,
in. It's
absolutely.
important that they invest. It has an impact on what the future products and services we see. So women
For
have
sure.
a different perspective than men. And so it's so important that both perspectives are at the table so that
Absolutely.
all of the innovations happen that
Hmm.
impact everyone.
Everyone, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it benefits the whole world to have women investing and deciding what gets invested in too. So
absolutely.
I'm grateful for women out there like you who are women investors and encouraging other women to invest. And that will be a game changer, and that'll move that 2% needle as well so that we get more funding and it will impact the world in a very positive way.
Yeah, I really hope so. And I'm really grateful for you as well with this universe that you're building. And I love it when we collaborate on things. And yeah, I'm just excited about what's ahead, to be honest.
Thank you. Us too. If people want to know about the show, it's fempireshow.com
That's the website for now, but
now.
yeah,
Okay. And
it'll
that'll
change.
change so people can
Yeah.
Google that. And then what other websites would you like to send people to? And I know you're on LinkedIn, right?
I am on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Intro as well if you want to book a consultation. You
What,
can.
what's intro? What is that?
So that's an app, a web-based app where you can actually book experts in different fields, anywhere from entrepreneurship to astrology.
Is
And
that
I am on there.
intro.com?
Intro.co
Dot,
slash Erika Aquino. Yes.
wait a minute. Intro dot what?
Co
Intro dot
dot co. Yeah.
oh,
Co.
dot co. Gotcha.
Yes. Yes. And then my website, erica-aquino.com. And I'm on Instagram as well. I am Erika Aquino.
Yeah. And some people just be listening, so I'm going to spell your name for them. It is Erica with a K,
Yes.
Eika, and then Aquino is Aquino.
That
So
is correct.
listening.
Yes.
And you can find me too, Catherine Gray on LinkedIn, Catherine with a C, Gray with an A. We are at sheangelinvestors.com, as well as
Mhm.
our movie site, showherthemoneymovie.com. So please check us out. You can find Erica or I online. We
Mhm.
appreciate you tuning in to learn some about global investing. And Erica, thank you for sharing your expertise in this arena and being a great guest today.
Anytime, Catherine. Thank you for having me.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make it a great week. Bye-bye.